Hi there. If we haven't met yet, I'm Emily D. Baker. I'm the badass lawyer, host of The Emily Show podcast, and I am a legal commentator breaking down the legal shit behind the news and pop culture stories that we all want to talk about. I have been a licensed attorney for over 15 years, but this is not legal advice. I am a big fan of the cursey words, so headphones are recommended. This is where the law nerds unite with facts, not fuckery. I don't have words. Happy Wednesday night. Salty played the Uno reverse. It escalated in a way that I honestly did not see coming at all, anywhere. Like, this is there were things I saw coming. I was like, I think maybe this is the filing we're going to get. I think maybe we'll see some issues with, evidence and Twitter shenanigans. This shit. Y'all. What? Also, Salty's kind of the hero we all need right now because we don't have to talk about politics. We're talking about Lorri Ann. Here's what happened tonight. I'm just going to walk you through tonight. Then I'm going to give you a background of the case, where we are, why this is relevant, why it's such a big deal. For everyone that has not watched every minute of coverage on the Tati Westbrook case, it's fine. I'm going to catch you up real quick and tell you why this is like, I have never seen this shit. If you guys have favorite creators, I saw Diva put it, thank you, Diva, put it in the chat. If you guys have favorite creators that you want to see cover the tea side of this, not just the legal side, go ahead at your favorite drama channels, because this tea, speechless. I'm a little speechless. So here's what happened today. It has been a busy day. I dropped 2 episodes of the podcast because I was behind on editing, and so one of them didn't come out last week. I had business calls. And then we had our mod team meeting. And while we were on our mod team meeting, my Pacer alerts went off and I was like, oh, what is this with Pacer going off? Okay, Pacer's going off. And it was a different case. And then I was like, still more Pacer. And then as I was like, more Pacer, the mods are like, Salty tweeted. And I was like, no. And then I'm on our Zoom call with all your favorite mods. Shout out to the mods for being amazing. With all your favorite mods, I'm on with your mods. And they're like, Salty tweeted. I'm like, what did Salty tweet? And then they're telling me what Salty tweeted. And then I'm like, oh, here's Pacer. Holy shit. It's a declaration from Lorri Ann. Uno reverse. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what Salty tweeted. I'm going to give you background of the case. Then I'm going to answer questions at the end and we'll talk about it. My intent is to go through this document. I have skimmed it. I have not read all of it. I was on with the mods and like, we need to go live. We have to go live. We have to talk to the people. I need to talk it out. I'm sweating a little bit. I don't know what's happening. I've never seen anything like this. I don't want to talk about the impeachment anymore. Let's all run away into a defamation lawsuit and go la 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 la. So that's what we're doing here. We're gonna run into the craziest legal shit you've ever seen and go la 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 la. That's what we're doing. So I will try to get to super chats. If I miss things, I'm gonna apologize right now. I might not be able to read them all out loud. I know we're gonna get busy, but as I get into this document, I want to give you my hot takes. Yeah, Kittrell, this is a straight up Perry Mason moment. This is like as seen on TV lawyering. This is not real. This is crazy. Gabby, thank you so much. I've never seen anything like this. Nate the lawyer, good to see you in the chat. Lori, Dr. Lori Smith, always good to see you in the chat. Creep show. Girl. Okay, let's pull up what Salty tweeted. Which, as I was getting Pacer alerts, the mods were like, Salty's tweeting. I love that we were like on a Zoom call when this all went down. I'm trying to collect my thoughts because this is crazy. You guys, this is fucking crazy. This is crazy. I will try to get to chats and questions. I'm going to break down this document and tell you the things. Salty tweeted, oh, you guys, all the retweets, everybody up on Salty's Twitter. You got y'all fast. Thank you, Lorri Ann. You are a class act. And then I got to Pacer. This is still on Pacer. Like, I've downloaded it, but it's not all the way downloaded. I'm going to give you the background, but this is another precipice in the Tati Westbrook defamation lawsuit. We're just going to do an overview. Then I'm just going to show you what it is. Then I'm going to tell you the background of why this matters. This is another addendum. Like, oh, by the way, there's more shit. More. Oh, by the way, there's more. That's what's happening right now. Jen Gerard, happy birthday. Welcome. I'm wearing your lippy. You guys, Jen Gerard gave the Law Nerds a code. It is an affiliate code. Well, gave this Law Nerd a code. I will put it in the description box. You guys, what is happening? What? Okay. If you're in the text crew, you got this alert because I alerted the text crew. If you're in North America, join the text crew. If you don't follow me on the socials, if you're new, follow me on the socials. Let's just get into it. All right. This is an addendum. Oh, by the way, there's more. And then this. Declaration of Lorianne Barnhart in support of plaintiff's opposition to defendant's motion to dismiss. KJ's ride or die, which is what she was called in the other motion, in support of Tati Westbrook's opposition to the motion to dismiss. This is now a declaration from Lorri Ann supporting Tati Westbrook's side. And then I started to scroll, and there are screenshots. Once I saw the screenshots, I was like, we're rolling. We're getting on. I saw Sanders Kennedy's name. I saw the screenshots. I saw conversations. Y'all, we're going to read through this whole thing. How many pages is this declaration? Pages on pages on, hold on. Sorry. Something caught my attention. I saw Mr. Brown's name. That means there is conversation in here that is regarding KJ's attorney. Okay. So let's talk about the road so far. Yes, I am a Supernatural fan. I don't think the road so far is, I'm not playing Carrie on My Wayward Son after it, but I don't think the road so far is trademarked. If it is, I'll look and I'll block this out. Okay. Here's where we're at on this case. Tati Westbrook is a beauty guru up here on the YouTubes, though she hasn't posted a YouTube video in almost a year. She got into the Bi Sister scandal. She owns a beauty brand. She has a business partner lawsuit, and then she sued a drama channel up here on the YouTubes. Without a Crystal Ball is the channel name. KJ is the person on the channel. This defamation suit has given us an entire law school year of civil law and procedure. We have had all the things. A complaint was filed. It alleged defamatory statements, over 40 videos, a article on a blog, tweets, and things like that. Complaint was filed. We think you did this shit. We're saying that you did. Then the day that went down, shit started going off. This was like Halloween. Shit started popping off. Stuff got deleted. Videos were going up. Videos were going down. Comments were being deleted. And then the plaintiffs filed a motion, as we call it on this channel, to not delete your shit. It is a motion to preserve evidence. Like, hey, you can't do that. That was resolved by the lawyers by stipulation. You cannot delete your shit. They all agreed. More stuff has happened on social media since then. If you need to catch up, there are a ton of channels that have covered it. And they have like the sassy editing, like True Sleuth and Drama and Opinions and Creep Show and BX. Like all of them have the sassy editing where they show you the things. I just break down the documents. They have the full tea. More stuff happened online. After the complaint was filed, the defense, KJ, has the option to file an answer like, yeah, you said we did that shit. We didn't do that shit. Let the lawsuit begin. Or they can file procedural motions. In this case, they filed a motion to dismiss. saying, hey, we're not coming to court in Washington. Legal vernacular. We're not coming to court in Washington. The business and the person are in Minnesota. Show us that we belong here. Like, make it make sense that we should be in court in Washington. The motion to dismiss then went off the motherfucking rails. Like, the motion to dismiss was filed. Then the motion to dismiss was filed saying things like, Trisha Paytas thinks Tati is dumb as hell, and there's a murderous conspiracy, and like Shane Dawson did some shit, and Jeffree Star with 1 R, 2 R's did some shit. Like, the whole motion to dismiss was T. The first part of it was like T. And the argument for most of it was like, yeah, but Tati's done shitty stuff too, so it's not defamation. And then it was like, oh, and you can't have us in Washington. There was a very sassy response, sassy footnotes, strong language about the attorneys, strong language about KJ's declaration, wherein she said she has 0 subscribers in the state of Washington in her motion to dismiss. I don't have any subscribers in the state of Washington. I don't have any viewers in the state of Washington. I don't have the people in the state of Washington. There's not enough contacts. I can't be here. Salty's opposition was like, no. Here's why we say that you do. Here's why we say that you have contacts with Washington. Here's your ride or die Lorri Ann from Washington. Here's this, here's that. After the opposition was filed, there was a lot of social media conversation from KJ. Now, not legal advice. This is life advice. If you are sued, talk to your attorney. And if your attorney says STFU, do that. So then there was conversation. There was a live video. That live video had super chats from Lorri Ann. Then there was a precipice. A precipice is oh, by the way, there's more shit. So there was a precipice filed that had declarations from moderators and people who had previously purchased Halo and no longer purchased Halo. Tati Westbrook's company, there's vitamins. There's also makeup, but that's separate. And that's another lawsuit. Vitamins. People who are saying, I watched these videos from KJ. I stopped buying Halo Beauty because of it. Declarations from them. And then a declaration from an ex-mod who said, but essentially one of KJ's ride or dies is Lorri Ann Barnhart. She goes by these usernames on Twitter. She's a known ride or die. She lives in Washington, and she and KJ have contacts. So again, showing A, KJ's declaration from plaintiff's perspective is false, and B, showing that KJ did have contacts with people in the state of Washington. From the plaintiff's perspective, sufficient to drag this case into Washington. From the defense's perspective, it's going to be, but that's not enough. Like, so what if there's a person in Washington? Not enough evidence. So then we had 14 days. We as the law nerds up here on this channel, there were 14 days before the reply to the plaintiff's opposition was due. And what did they do? They filed that as fast as they fucking could. And we were all like, what? That was quick. And the tea was hot in that too. They threw Salty under the bus. They brought in new case law. It was way easier to read than the original motion. And we were all like, okay, I see you. And then there was another KJ declaration that said things like, well, not all of my subscribers are from Washington, just some of them, and other things that contradicted the initial one, but then also threw James Westbrook, Tati's husband, under the bus and said, this is what I think did it. I'm going to just pull up the declaration, and said, essentially, Lorri Ann's not my best friend. Lorri Ann, who we don't know her. Let me pull this up. I literally have stuff pulled up, but also the tea was coming in hot, and I was kind of like, oh my God, this isn't happening. Like the meme of Michael Scott being like, it's happening. That was me on the mod call going, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening right now. Like, Like, never do you ever see this. Okay, Control F. Don't Control F yourself. We can't search declaration. We learned that the last time I tried to do that. I tried to search the declaration, and then it was like, no, there's too many places where it says declaration. Why am I searching? So we can just get to KJ's declaration. All right. So now we are at motion to dismiss, plaintiff's opposition to motion to dismiss, precipice of, oh, by the way, there's more shit. And then defendant's reply to the plaintiff's opposition. After that, there was also a SIR reply. We don't even have time to get to that just yet because there was a supplemental declaration from KJ. KJ says that she used Ancestry in my life. KJ says that prior to this lawsuit being filed, I had been in contact over social media with Lorri Ann Barnhart on a few occasions. I did not know Miss Barnhart was a resident of Washington. I am unaware of the state of residence of most of my subscribers and viewers because that information is not important to me or my business. When I referred to Miss Barnhart as my best friend, it was not meant literally or even seriously. It was a lighthearted comment on the fact that she had been a critic of mine and had turned into a supporter. I meant it as hyperbole, and I believe the context makes that obvious to any reasonable person. I interpreted that as a dig at Salty, but fine. There were digs in his motion too. I have had very limited interactions with Miss Barnhart, do not know her well, and do not consider her to be a friend at all, let alone my best friend. And my comment in that video was, bump, 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 bump. Like she drove the bus over Lorianne, backed it up, and then drove over it again with the, we're not even friends. Because in the plaintiff's declaration, it clearly had information showing that there were conversations between the two. There was a script. Emily, why are you describing the documents that you have? Just pull up the document. Maybe. Let's pull up the document. We're just going to pull it up. We're going to pull up what the plaintiffs showed too, as I'm just talking about it, because that just makes it easier in their precipice. So now we have two precipice. Y'all, precipice is a federal thing. I was like, what? This precipice, by the way, Salty likes to file with the screenshots and the T. I'm here for it. So this is their, oh, by the way, there's more shit. They showed screenshots of Lorri Ann having conversations on live chats. I can't believe you were even entertaining this guy, Katie. He's sick and violent, but showing income is being derived from Washington, which if you go back for the other videos, you will see that income derived from Washington is a factor in, is there enough contacts for it to be in Washington? That's how we make it make sense. Then there's a comment in here from Lorri Ann. Tati's lawyer is a creep that needs a restraining order. He's been aggressivelying me since I have been the most vocal in standing up for you. This is all my fault. So I have been standing up for you. I'm super chatting on your video, the video that came out right after the declaration in this saying no, Lorri Ann's, no, right after the opposition saying that there's contacts to Washington. So then this all got added in this, oh, by the way, now we know that there's this Lorri Ann contact with KJ. There's a financial agreement here because there's super chats. And then they allege a financial agreement. By the way, they added DMs from Lorri Ann to Salty, accusing Salty of doxing. It's in the other video. Then it shows that Lorri Ann had been a channel member saying, oh, look, this resident of the state of Washington is a member of the channel. So not only do you have people watching your channel that are members or that are residents of Washington, but you have channel members that are from Washington and alleging that they knew she was from Washington, which is why in KJ's declaration, she said, I don't know where she's from. I really don't know her that well. I do not consider her to be a friend. Bump. Bump. So heretofore, here now comes Law Nerds called to order for the declaration of Lorri Ann Barnhart. The plaintiffs have alleged that she's a ride or die for KJ. They put up all of the screenshots showing KJ saying she's a ride or die. She'll take down your names. Lorri Ann knows who's who. And KJ went in a declaration and says she's not really a friend. And now there's a we need the gavel. We need the gavel. We can't do this without the gavel. And now Lorri Ann, who had been called best friends by KJ, is filing a declaration in support of Tati Westbrook. The tea. As I said, I've skimmed it. Let's read it together. Y'all. I can't believe this is happening right now. All right, we're gonna pop it up so we can see. We're gonna make this big, which is gonna be hard because it's on Pacer. Okay. I, Lorri Ann Barnhart, hereby state as follows. I am over the age of 18 and am competent to testify to the facts alleged herein. I am a resident of the state of Washington. Because I'm ADD and dyslexic, I get distracted. I will say we are going to talk about the scorching heart tea. We are not going to besmirch, harass, make judgments on KJ. We are here to talk about the legal tea and the stuff that's in the legal filings, not about the person, not about mental state, those kinds of speculations. Sometimes that comes up. Law nerds, y'all keep it classy. I know, but sometimes people come to the channel and are like, well, what about this? And what about that? No, we're just talking about the law stuff and the tea in this declaration. And part of it was that right after the last Precipice, so KJ did a video. The last video I said, the only reason this is coming up is because KJ did that video after the plaintiff's opposition was filed. And then Lorri Ann's was up in the super chats on that video. And we saw that there were DMs between Lorri Ann and KJ on a screenshot that showed who KJ had been DMing with. And Lorri Ann was there saying, hey, she's in Washington. Hey, they're DMing. Hey, she's super chatting. Hey, she's a channel member. So after that, Lorri Ann's Twitter disappeared. And that's when I was saying, look, if Lorri Ann's Twitter is disappearing, then are they trying to get rid of DMs between the two? That was a problem too. So we talked about her Twitter disappearing as well. So now here she is in a declaration filed by Saltsy. OMG. In the past 2 years, I've used the following Twitter accounts: Bloodtall, which is what Saltsy alleges, and this one, Lab 05059 and Lab 05050. I initially found Ms. Paulson on Facebook in late 2019, wherein my account expressly stated that I am a resident of a city in Snohomish County, Washington. Ms. Paulson and I were officially Facebook friends through our personal Facebook accounts. Okay, so she knew where you lived, is what sentence one. You knew I lived in Washington. Oh, by the way, can we all take a note of the 26-line paper? Let's just take a note. Noted for the record. Somebody note it for the record. 26-line paper, noted for the record. I was a paying member of KJ's Without a Crystal Ball YouTube channel from approximately January 2020 through August 2020. As a member of the Without a Crystal Ball channel, I paid $3.99 per month, not including tax, during the time period that I was a paid member of Ms. Paulson's channel from Washington. Ms. Paulson published numerous videos and other content maligning plaintiffs in this case. So I was a paying member and videos were published about the case. This is all going to go to, see, you were deriving income from Washington. That's what the argument is there. Throughout a large portion of 2020, I was communicating with Ms. Paulson on Twitter on an extremely frequent basis. Okay. And otherwise, not less than several times a week. What did KJ say? KJ said, where is it? KJ said, damn, it jumped. Hold on. I'll get back to what KJ said, but KJ said rare contact. Note the extremely frequent basis, also for the record. Otherwise, not less than several times a week. I also communicated with Ms. Paulson via email and direct messages. Remember, there's a court order to not delete your shit that includes emails and direct messages, just also noted. I was not only a staunch supporter of KJ and her channel, I also developed the reputation of being her fierce protector, which is alleged by plaintiffs in the other motion. KJ would brag about me being one of her ride or dies, and well, that's a whole lot different than I don't consider her a friend, and said that if anyone came after her, she knew that I, as one of her ride or dies, would shut them down. Below is a true and correct copy of a screenshot from my Twitter account of a conversation I had with Miss Paulson, wherein Miss Paulson makes such a statement. Receipts on page 2. Receipts on page 2. Lorianne, yep, she has been dealing with it for a long time. I don't know how she does it either, but you can tell that they are not okay. Pretty sad lives they live. Without a crystal ball, I ignore them because I know my ride or dies will always shut them down. As a further example of defendants expressly using me as their, quote, bulldog, expressly using me as their bulldog. This is okay. This might also go to jurisdiction. Let's keep reading. To go after Ms. Paulson's detractors and competitors. Oh, that's going to go to jurisdiction. That would speak negatively about defendants in or about July 2020. KJ found themselves to be the focus of significant negative attention when KJ falsely published that a very large YouTube creator was being investigated by the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department for potential sex-related crimes involving children. That's why Sanders Kennedy's mentioned later. Oh my God. Apparently there was never such an investigation. Okay. For all of you who aren't familiar with the T, I'm going to translate into T real quick. During this period of time, Sanders Kennedy published a video alleging that Shane Dawson was under investigation for things. KJ took that story, ran with it, added to it. There are drama channels that have the whole background of that, where they talk about what was added and what allegations were added by KJ to that statement by Sanders Kennedy. And that is apparently why KJ found herself in drama around July 2020. Again, I wasn't familiar with her channel then. I was familiar with the Sanders Kennedy drama as Shane was being canceled for literally everything. The focus of significant negative attention when defendants falsely published. So Lorri Ann, in her declaration, is saying that KJ made false statements against Shane Dawson. Same girl, same. Same girl, same. Same girl, same. Same girl, same. Y'all, nerds, what is happening? Okay, we're going to keep reading. But Lorri Ann's declaration says in no uncertain terms that defendants falsely published that a very large YouTube creator was being investigated by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Okay, as such, Ms. Paulson publicly stated to another one of defendants' bulldogs that there was nothing to worry about with regard to the negative attention KJ was receiving because, quote, you and Lorri Ann will be on the hunt. Y'all? Here's the thing when it comes to this motion regarding jurisdiction in Washington. Lorri Ann has just said that she's a Washington resident, that KJ knew she was a Washington resident, and that she is essentially sending Lorri Ann to do her bidding, which means she has an agent in the state of Washington doing things on her behalf. You are protecting me. You are, quote, on the hunt, bulldog. These are things saying, I am reaching into the state of Washington through my person who is on the Twitters defending me and my business reputation, essentially. She was under attack for the statements that Lorri Ann is saying are false in this declaration. I'm not worried, is what this declaration is saying. KJ said, I'm not worried because y'all will protect me. That means she has someone in Washington protecting her business interest. Oh God. Okay. Moving on. A true and correct copy of a screenshot of said conversation from July 7th, 2020 that I had obtained from Twitter is below. I don't know this account, but replying to at KJ, I saw Sanders Kennedy video first. I didn't understand why everyone is coming after you when you didn't release the information. It looks like they were all ready to take you down. I'm suspicious. Without a crystal ball replying, don't worry, you and Lori will be on the hunt. Oh, okay. This, by the way, is just the pineapple kombucha. We're continuing on the pineapple kombucha. This, you guys, I've literally, we're going to keep reading. I've never seen anything like this. I have reviewed Ms. Paulson's supplemental declaration in support of her motion to dismiss. At paragraph 6, they're going in. At paragraph 6, she states that she had been in contact over social media with me on only a few occasions. This is false. It is also false that they're not parsing words. Like, that shit's not true, is what this says. It is also false that she did not know that I was a resident of Washington. Hi, Your Honor. Yeah, what she put in her sworn declaration signed under penalty of perjury, well, that shit's not true. OMG, this declaration. It is also false that she did not know that I was a resident of Washington. We were Facebook friends and my state of residence was displayed in my profile. In addition, there have been instances over the course of our communication wherein I had specifically stated to Ms. Paulson that I live in Washington. Okay. On several occasions, KJ asked me to do certain things for her, such as mass flagging. There's a footnote. Oh God, let it be sassy. Flagging content means not sassy. Flagging content means reporting violations of terms of service or inappropriate content to YouTube. Y'all. These allegations have been made. These allegations have been made. Lorri Ann just came with, it's true. It's true. Asked me to do certain things such as mass flagging content of other detractors and competitors. Isn't KJ always the one on her channel like going after competitors is illegal and giving everybody all the legal tea on what it's like to go after competitors? Just a question. YouTube, other detractors and competitors' YouTube channels. Defendants, by the way, it says defendants because both the business Without a Crystal Ball and KJ as a person are being sued. I'm going to interchange defendants and KJ because it's really her. Would ask me to help mass flag competitors' YouTube channels that made negative comments about defendants in order to have their platform demonetized or taken away. No. Sometimes the orders to mass flag someone's channel or content were made by Ms. Paulson publicly, and sometimes the orders were sent by Ms. Paulson to me in private messages on Twitter. One such account I was told to flag was Lil Red, a YouTube creator and competitor of defendants who was publishing negative comments regarding Ms. Paulson. On one occasion, I received a private message from KJ instructing me to also flag a YouTube creator and competitor's YouTube channel named Sherelle's World. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my. Y'all. As her agent, I followed her directions as requested and reported the channels to YouTube for having inappropriate content. Oh Those are very big allegations, especially in the YouTube world. These are allegations that have been coming for KJ for a while, but to have one of her ride or dies turn around and say she was abusing the reporting system could actually deplatform her. I'm sure Sherelle's World is not going to take kindly to this. I'm sure Little Red is not going to take kindly to this. And I'm sure that the commentary community is not going to take kindly to this. Oh, however, Lorianne really has nothing to lose at this point. Lorianne's like, we're not friends. Okay. Defendants would also use me as their agent to perform other tasks, such as deliver messages to people on Twitter. What is this, the mafia? Like, tell Cersei it was me. Like, that is, Lorianne might be the one saying, tell Cersei it was me in this thing. Like, what is that? Deliver messages to people on Twitter that defendants had blocked. Below is a true and correct copy of a screenshot of a Twitter conversation wherein KJ gave me such an instruction to perform on her behalf. Y'all. 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 The screenshot says, do you blame me? Send me your pic so I can blow it up and pick you apart. Let me judge your parenting, your marriage. A person can only take so much. Her guard is up, but it is coming down. Without a crystal ball, let her know this is why she's blocked, because I know she's trolling. Tell Cersei it was me. Oh, my voice. Excuse me. Each and every time I was asked to do something or did something on behalf of, for, or at the request of KJ, I was physically located in Washington. Again, this was a fact I did not hide from KJ, and to the best of my recollection, frequently disclosed to her. In August 2020, I began to disagree with the toxic environment KJ was creating with her content. As such, I began to distance myself from being KJ's agent that would do KJ's bidding and defending. And I canceled my paid membership to her YouTube channel. She was disappointed in the separation and said that she adores me no matter what happens. I think that's going to change. It is my understanding that this statement establishes that the connection that I have with KJ in general and Ms. Paulson in particular was far more significant than what Ms. Paulson represented in her declaration to the court. You said we weren't friends, so we are not friends. Below is a true and correct copy of a screenshot of a tweet from my Twitter account showing said interaction with KJ, wherein she says she adores me. Lori, I adore you. Well, there's no parsing words on that, is there? You know that. That doesn't change. From 8/13/2020. Though I canceled my membership, I still remain friendly with Ms. Paulson after this lawsuit was filed in October 2020. As a result of my continued friendship with Ms. Paulson and my prior reputation of being a staunch protector, quote, bulldog of Ms. Paulson, I started to receive messages from people on Twitter who were trying to discredit me. In their efforts to discredit me on or about November 5th, 2020, people had stated not only that I live in the state of Washington, but because I had previously made it generally known that I previously worked for the government, that I was the person publicly listed on the internet as Lorri Ann Barnhart that worked in the Department of Transportation, although that person listed on the website for the Washington Department of Transportation has the same exact name as me and is a government employee from the same state as me. That is not me. Okay, first, what are the chances that the Lorri Ann that was like works for the Department of Transportation and was in the declaration from one of KJ's ex-mods is not the same Lorianne, though has the exact same name. That's wild. But that's what she's saying. She's saying, that's not me, which makes sense why she texted, don't dox me. But if it's don't dox me, doxing's generally your own information. Okay, we're going to go on. I'm curious. So she's saying that the person in that screenshot in the other precipice is not her. That's in the declaration from her ex-mod. We'll pull it up later. We need to keep going. I am shook. However, I did not publicly correct these people Twitter who published this information on or about November 5th, 2020, as if it were fact, and otherwise allowed them to continue to believe that I worked for the Department of Transportation. I read that weird. However, I did not publicly correct these people. I'm guessing this is on Twitter, who published this information on or about November 5th, 2020, as if it were fact, and the people published it as if it were fact, and otherwise allowed them to continue to believe I worked for the Department of Transportation. Well, I guess then they would stop looking for you if it's not you. And otherwise allowed them to continue to believe that I work for the Department of Transportation. Instead, I am a retired administrator for a federal agency. As such, I take responsibility for my part of allowing this misunderstanding to be accepted as fact, and for that, I apologize. Below is a true and correct redacted screenshot I had obtained and republished on my Twitter page, showing that the other people on Twitter were misstating the fact that I was the same Lorri Ann Barnhart who worked for the Department of Transportation. Hopefully no one called Lorri Ann Barnhart from the Department of Transportation thinking that she was involved in this case, but we should never call people involved in the cases, just as we're saying. Professionals aren't on Twitter, LOL. Well, Ms. Barnhart is supposed to be a professional herself. She is an employee of the Washington DOT, which is a government agency, and yet here she is conducting herself like a child. So she's saying, it sounds like, that she allowed those assumptions to continue and didn't correct them. Throughout 2020, I had communicated with Ms. Paulson through email, social media, direct messages, and live chats, as stated above. And while I was a paying member, we regularly communicated multiple times per week. In fact, Ms. Paulson and I were Facebook friends, wherein my account expressly stated that I'm a resident of a city in Snohomish County, Washington. I have shared some of my most intimate secrets via email with Ms. Paulson, including personal information about mental health issues. Which is something I would not have done with someone that was merely an acquaintance. Oh, that has to feel like quite a betrayal, to then to get roped into the law things. Though Lorri Ann inserted herself a bit, tweeting at Salty at the beginning for sure. And Salty was like, I'm here, come see me. I'm a lawyer, I'm real. So there was an insertion into this with her and Salty at the beginning. But then if you are someone who has hung out with a creator, been a member of a creator, been a ride or die for a creator, shared everything about your struggle with that creator. And I know this is something I take sacred on this channel, because y'all share things with me, because I share about my life with you. I share about being ADD and being dyslexic. You share your stories with me. And that's something that is kind of sacred. This is saying that Lorri Ann has shared all that with KJ, and KJ came out in this declaration saying, I wouldn't even consider us friends. Yikes. Okay. On or about December 2nd, 2020, after defendants filed the motion to dismiss, Ms. Paulson became distant, and it appeared to me that KJ was attempting to minimize our connection to one another. I have reviewed KJ's declaration that she filed along with the motion to dismiss, and in paragraph 6 of her declaration appears to be false. Specifically, perhaps we were not, quote, best friends, as she stated we were in her June 9th, 2020 video. But we were significantly closer than your average fan or paid member. This is especially so given that she had reached out to me in the state of Washington to perform tasks, this goes to the jurisdiction stuff, on defendants' behalf, such as flag other competitors' YouTube accounts, and had publicly endorsed my being her, quote, bulldog against her detractors. Ms. Paulson knew, this is where we all the channels that do the clippy things, y'all need the clip of that June 9th video where she's like, no, she keeps an eye. Like Lorri Ann's got an eye on all of you. She's my best friend. Because I've seen that clip a bunch. KJ knew that she had subscribers and paying members, including me, in the state of Washington. Y'all, a federal judge is going to be like, what the fuck has happened in this case? They haven't even been in court yet. This is all before anyone's appeared in court. The judge is going to be like, yeah, all. What? For us, we're going to keep going. 16. I began to see KJ's propensity for dishonesty, while at the same, this is a defamation suit. These are big statements. While at the same time observing that she was creating distance for what I can only imagine was to conceal a close relationship with a member/subscriber from the state of Washington, and to falsely inform the court that she is unaware of any connections with the state of Washington, which is what she put in her first declaration. I don't have anyone in Washington. This is now two declarations that they're alleging have false statements. Okay. I have reviewed the declarations of Kim Fulmer and Michael J. Saltz filed in support of plaintiff's opposition to the motion to dismiss. I can hereby certify that, except for the statement in paragraph 10 of Kim Fulmer's declaration regarding me working at the Department of Transportation's, the statements in the declarations appear to be accurate. She's co-signing the other declarations. That's multiple witness statements to a fact. That said, I have done and said many things in my past that I regret and have previously contacted Ms. Fulmer to make amends, and Ms. Fulmer publicly acknowledged my apology. The criminal charges referenced in Ms. Fulmer's declaration were ultimately dismissed pursuant to an agreement I made with the prosecutors. As a former prosecutor, not uncommon. Aside from the events surrounding the incident discussed in the criminal complaint, I have no criminal record. Okay. I am profoundly sorry to, whoa. There's like an apology and stuff. I am profoundly sorry to Ms. Fulmer and to anyone else for anything they may have perceived that I posted online as a threat to their safety. Well, there were biker gang allegations. I can see that. I have already apologized to her and other creators for my actions. Below is a true and correct copy of a screenshot of a tweet from my Bloodtall Twitter account showing I tried to apologize for my actions, which were perceived as threats to Ms. Fulmer. Okay. Ms. Fulmer, by the way, being the former moderator of KJ that filed a declaration in the last Precipice. Precipice being, oh, by the way, there's new shit. Thanks for your apology last night. This reads not only like she is laying KJ out, but also like, hey, but I did shit I'm not proud of. You got to respect it. I mean, it is pretty straight up with the, okay, this is stuff I did. This is accountability. This is not even like YouTube apology accountability. This is like actual accountability. Shortly after reading the declaration of Kim Fulmer, the former mod of KJ, that contained the wrong information about my employment, I was concerned that a person who was not me was going to be contacted to be a witness in this lawsuit. I can completely imagine that. I therefore contacted Ms. Paulson through Twitter direct message on or about December 24th, 2020. That's the day it dropped. Remember, we all had a very long Christmas Eve because Christmas Eve was the deadline of that motion. And we were all like, oof. And then it dropped like super late that night. No, super late on the 23rd because that was the deadline. So Christmas Eve was a whole lot of like, let's parse this and get a video out. But there was tea and receipts in that too. Like tea, receipts, sassy footnotes, and legal. And 26-line paper. Okay, going on. So she contacted KJ on Christmas Eve and informed her of her concern that the person in the declaration was not in fact her. KJ informed me that she was not able to speak about the case. Well, is that a first? But that's, I mean, fair. Not able to speak about the case. Fair enough. I then responded that it was my intention to call plaintiff's attorney, Saltzy, to notify them that about the issue to see if they can do anything to correct it. That's a pretty stand-up thing to do. Be like, yo, that's the wrong person. Ms. Olson told me expressly to not contact plaintiff's counsel. Oh. But to contact her attorney, Michael B. Brown, instead. Okay. Oh, we're going to find out what? We're going to find out what went down between her and KJ's attorney. Oh my. Okay. I hadn't even gotten to this page yet. There's okay. We need more lip gloss. Okay. From the very first interaction I had with Mr. Brown, I felt he was being misleading. Holy shit. He led me to believe that plaintiffs filed their opposition right before Christmas to intentionally mess with me and not because it was the court-imposed deadline. Oof. On December 30th, 2020, Mr. Brown informed me, I'm going to have to go look at the sassy footnote, that plaintiff's counsel was planning to subpoena my Twitter account. Note from the narrator, her Twitter account was closed. We knew that there were direct messages between her and KJ because we saw the screenshot. So that doesn't surprise me that it was like, hey, we're going to subpoena it. And then when we saw the stipulation to continue discovery, there was a note in that stipulation about subpoenaing this Twitter account that I talked about in another video. Counsel was trying to subpoena my Twitter account, which caused me concern. He said, quote, they think there may be evidence there about your connection to Katie. I did not disclose that you and I are in touch. Saltz even complained to me that you threatened him in DM. Holy shit. Okay, let's see what the footnote says. Oh my God. I am willing to provide emails that I have exchanged with Mr. Brown to the court for a private review if necessary. Well, good, they're not attached. However, as Mr. Brown has indicated that he would represent me. Oh my God. I did not wish to make these emails public. In addition, said emails contain private information about my mental health issues that I disclosed to Mr. Brown. These emails have been provided to plaintiff's counsel in order to give the court upon request. What? So, okay. Brown, from this declaration, Brown said he represented Lorri Ann. I want to know how that conflict check went down. And conflict means when you're a lawyer, you can't represent someone whose interests might directly conflict with your clients. And in this case, Lorri Ann's interest might have conflicted with KJ's, depending on what Lorri Ann knew. Oh my God. And if he was representing her and they were going to subpoena her Twitter and he did not disclose it to plaintiff's counsel, oh my God. He stated, quote, they think there may be evidence there about your connection to Katie. Well, yeah, because there's a screenshot showing that they DM. I did not disclose that you and I are in touch. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to have to parse the ethical issues in this another time because my brain is I'm literally this emoji and I can't. And okay, the ethical implications here. Look, I don't know if, again, it's a declaration from Lorri Ann, but they've offered to attach the emails. So a direct quote I have to go with is probably found in the emails, but you don't represent someone connected with the thing and not disclose it. And I can't even believe that Lorri Ann wouldn't have a conflict to KJ. Okay. We're going to keep reading. I'm going to have to come back to this, you guys, in the lawyer world, like all of this is tea, but in the lawyer world, oh my God, this is a lot of stuff. Mr. Brown thereafter sought to have me sign a declaration on behalf of defendants that did nothing more than attack and malign plaintiff's counsel. Oh, they were coming for Saltsy in a declaration. Wasn't there a tweet? Wasn't there a tweet about Saltsy getting sued? Wasn't there a tweet? Okay. Did nothing more than attack and malign plaintiff's counsel. That, though, is a conclusion. That's conclusory, but we're going to keep going. Which I thought to be inappropriate and ultimately did not do. Well, clearly you ultimately did not do, because now you hear. And this is all the things. And it's kind of, I don't know. It's sure something. By way of example, there's examples. By way of example, Mr. Brown, in an email dated December 24th, 2020 at 3:38 p.m., tried to encourage me to file state bar complaints against one of the plaintiff's attorneys and otherwise suggest that I should perceive plaintiff's counsel's private attempts to informally obtain information from me as a threat. Saltsy. Brown was trying to get Lorri Ann to file state bar complaints against Saltsy. What? Okay. And tried to encourage me to file state bar complaints against one of plaintiff's attorneys and otherwise suggest. So the lawyer was suggesting to Lorri Ann, otherwise suggest that I should perceive plaintiff's counsel's private attempts to informally obtain information from me as a threat. Oh my God. Like, but is he threatening you? Do you feel threatened? But wasn't it a threat? Don't you feel so threatened? Was it a threat? But tell me, was it a threat? Okay. There's a lot to parse here. The fact is, plaintiff's counsel's attempts to communicate with me privately and informally obtain information contained no threats. But wasn't it a threat? Uno reverse. Mr. Brown stated that he would assist me in filing a declaration on my behalf in this case. Well, the footnote says he represented you, so he should file something on your behalf. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. On January 6th, so much shit happened on January 6th. On January 6th, 2021 at 6:18 p.m., Mr. Brown sent me an email stating that he made a signature page separate from the rest of the declaration so that he could make changes and I would not have to re-sign the declaration if he made tweaks. Okay. I was uncomfortable with signing an unfinished declaration that could potentially be altered after I signed it. But fair, though. Mr. Brown also informed me that plaintiff's counsel was going to serve me with a subpoena to preserve my social media accounts that I had deleted and to provide plaintiffs with access to any remaining communications that I may have had with Ms. Paulson. I said that I was going to go to legal aid and get legal assistance with responding to the subpoena. Okay, fair. On January 8th, 2021, I informed Mr. Brown that I was willing to turn over my accounts to plaintiff's counsel in order to resolve this issue. Mr. Brown suggested to me via email on January 8th, 2021, that I should object to the subpoena for the purpose of delaying my response to the subpoena, which upset me because I did not want to delay my exit from this case for any reason. Also, that is a fair point. So she's saying she was ready to turn over her accounts to Saltsy and be like, have a look at the DMs. And plaintiff's counsel was telling her not to do that, giving her legal advice. And then she said she wanted to go to legal aid and seek other legal assistance. And it sounds like he was like, no, I will file this on your behalf. Oof. Mr. Brown stated in an email to me dated January 10th, 2021 at 6:13 p.m., quote, I am preparing something to file tomorrow that addresses what they did to you, but does not require you to file any statement if you don't want to. I want the court to know what he's doing to harass you. I can't guarantee that the judge will do anything about it, but I want to try. His behavior is disgusting. I'm presuming to be salts. E, I recommend that you sit tight, accept service if they come to your door, so giving legal advice, and then we can take it from there. You are not in any trouble. End quote. Such statement confirmed to me that I apparently was a client of Mr. Brown's, in that I understood his statement to mean that he was inserting himself into my situation of having to respond to a subpoena. Okay. On January 11th, 2021, Mr. Brown thereafter offered to represent. We're getting all of the. This is just all of it. All of it. All of it. All of the tea. Let's keep going. On January 11th, 2021, Mr. Brown thereafter offered to represent me at no charge in responding to the subpoena, stating, "You don't need to spend money or hire a lawyer to respond to the subpoena or file a declaration. I'd like to stand up for you by filing your declaration if you'd let me. It costs you nothing." Did that suggest that she shouldn't speak to other counsel? Was there a conflict check run? I have questions. This statement made me very suspicious of Mr. Brown's motives, as it was my understanding that a truthful and honest response to the subpoena would not be in defendant's best interests. Oh, but would otherwise be in mine. Oh, the delay. It sounds to me like the intimation there is that the delay benefits KJ, because if the subpoena response is delayed, Salty won't see the DMs and know how much connection between this Washington resident and between KJ. And that Lorri Ann said, no, I'm ready to just turn it over to them. And it sounds like KJ's attorney is like, no, we good. You don't need to turn it over to them. We'll object to it. And then they won't see it yet. Well, won't see it yet till what? You won't see it yet till after the issue of jurisdiction is resolved? Yikes. Oh God. Okay. This is not like, once we got past the first part, I saw the screenshots and I was like, oh, okay. I did not think that that the lawyer was going to be so deep into the shit that's out of the horse. Okay. This statement made me very suspicious. Okay. Specifically, I was not comfortable with having Mr. Brown controlling the production of my documents and or other evidence that would likely be detrimental to defendants' pending motion attacking jurisdiction and ultimately defendants' defenses to plaintiffs' claims. I did not feel comfortable with Mr. Brown's offer of representation and stated intent to file objections solely for the purposes of delay of the subpoena. I also did not feel comfortable that Mr. Brown proceeded to give me legal advice in this case regarding how to respond to discovery and what I should say in the state bar complaints that he was encouraging me to file against plaintiffs' counsel. Saltsy. Wasn't there a tweet saying, now imagine getting sued for it? Is this what they are talking about? Is this what the tweets were about? I have questions. Okay. I was concerned that there would be a conflict of interest in representing me and Ms. Paulson because of the information that I would be providing would contradict the statements Ms. Paulson made in her declarations and therefore would be contrary to her interests. Yeah, that's what a conflict is. And I imagine that when Lorianne explained her feelings to that, the lawyers went, oh, this is how we describe that as you're uncomfortable because you know that all the DMs show all the connections and that all the connections show that she was working with someone in Washington and that her motion, because everyone up on the YouTube has talked about it, including myself. So everyone understands the connections to Washington and how important they are at this point, because it has been discussed by all of us. Oh my God, there are 6,500 law nerds up in here. 6,500 law nerds up in here. You guys, I can't wait to finish this, get into the chat and see what you think. I'm going to ask you to tell me how many thumbs up are on the video and go and add some more. We're going to keep going. We're doing the Lord's work over here. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. We're dyeing our hair purple at 100K. We need to keep moving. I'm shook. We're going to keep going. I was concerned that there would be a conflict of interest. You are not alone, Lorri Ann. We're all concerned that there's a conflict of interest at this point, even the non-lawyers in the room that are like, that seems weird. At no time prior to giving me legal advice did Mr. Brown advise me of any potential or actual conflicts of interest with regard to his representation of defendants and myself as a potential witness against defendants. All I wanted to do was make sure that everyone knew the person with my name working at Washington DOT was not me after the declaration of Kim Fulmer was filed. That seems like a very reasonable thing. I wholeheartedly did not expect that defendant's counsel would attempt to use me so blatantly as a pawn in such an inappropriate way. Oof. Okay. I also did not feel comfortable with Mr. Brown wanting me to sign a declaration stating that I was threatened by Mr. Saltz. Oh, Saltzy's in the declaration. When Mr. Saltz had not threatened me. It's fair. Look, I like that Lorri Ann is like, look, this is the shit that I did. Sorry. But this other shit does not sit right with me. I appreciate it. Okay, when Mr. Saltz has not threatened me, nor have I ever told Mr. Brown that Mr. Saltz threatened me. Specifically, Mr. Brown stated, quote, "We are filing something today that addresses the threat Saltz recently made to you. It would be great if you would state that you took it as a threat and felt intimidated." Holy shit. Uh, okay. Okay. I'm going to do that again. Maybe I missed something. Specifically, Mr. Brown stated, quote, "We are filing something today that addresses the threat Saltz recently made to you. It would be great if you would state that you took it as a threat and felt intimidating." Oh my God. He's telling her, according to this statement in this declaration, Brown is telling her, it'd be great if you would go ahead and say this for us. Guys, that's not okay. Like, the lawyers in the room are going to be like, oh. But your job as a lawyer is to be like, how did it make you feel? What was said? How did you take it? I mean, we know Lorri Ann felt some kind of way because she came up in that super chat. There's a super chat. I'm going to pull up the super chat. She said stuff in the super chat. Tati's lawyer is a creep that needs a restraining order. He has been passive aggressiving me. I will say her statement is not he's been harassing me. Her statement is not he's been threatening me. Her statement is he's been passive aggressive at me. But passive aggressive is not threatening or harassing. It's like passive aggressive. Okay. Oh, okay. Unless it's not about this, unless there's something I'm missing. So what they're saying is, what Lori's declaration is saying is, we're going to finish this in a second. We're at line 28. What Lorri Ann's declaration says is that she wanted to turn over her Twitter to Saltz and was just like, here, have it. The KJ's attorney said, no, I'll represent you at no cost and I will file to delay the response to the subpoena, but did not tell Lorri Ann that that would be a conflict. But it seems to me that doing so would restrict evidence being properly sought by plaintiff's counsel. They have a discovery stipulation that allowed for and specifically called out subpoenaing Lorri Ann's Twitter. And then was trying to get her, it seems, to make state bar complaints against Saltzy, which means that A, there were no state bar complaints to make before, because clearly they would have wanted to make them, and B, We are filing something today to address the threat Saltz recently made to you. It would be great if you would state that you took it as a threat and felt intimidated. This judge is going to lose her ever-loving fucking mind over this. Like, the judge is going to be the emoji. There is a research attorney somewhere losing their mind going, oh my God, I have no one to talk to about this, but holy shit. Holy shit. Y'all, I'm so glad I have you to talk to about this, because otherwise I'd be at home and I'd be like running off 1,000 miles a minute. My husband would be like, a what now? Right. Okay. We're at line 28. Holy shit. Based on the overall impression that Mr. Brown left with me during my interactions with him during the past few weeks, I cut off all communication with defendants and defendants' attorneys. Did she ghost them? Did she tell them? I wonder if she told them. I wonder if she ghosted them. Oh my God. If she ghosted them, is this when they're finding out? Like tonight, when this all just went whoop, there it is. Like, is that how this is being discovered? Okay. To be certain, I was shocked and horrified that KJ and their attorneys, who were apparently supposed to be looking out for my best interest, especially since they said they were representing me in this matter, ignored my express request to speedily take action to correct the record in regard to the false attribution of my employment. Again, it sounds like she's saying, why didn't you get out there and say the woman at DOT has the exact same name in the exact same state and also works for a government agency, but is not me? And instead hid the error from plaintiffs to their tactical advantage. Despite that Mr. Brown knew about the error since December 24th, 2020. What day are we at? January 13th? So December 24th, she's saying, hey, not me. Fix it. And they're like, no, we're going to object. Oh, Lorri Ann. She must have been so angry. And then KJ came out and said, yeah, we're not even friends. Oh, oof. Well, I think we know she's angry. Because she's just like, I'm going to just lay it all out. Because Lorri Ann's like, we're not friends. Fine, we're not friends. Let me just. Which all makes Salty's tweets make sense, because Salty tweeted, thank you, Lorri Ann, you're a class act. OMG. Okay. Defendants and defendants counsel have apparently done nothing to inform plaintiffs counsel to correct the error. Wait. She's saying that she told Brown, that's not me. And Brown never told Salty, by the way, wrong Lorri Ann, knowing how much has gone on social media with regard to this case, knowing how polarizing his client is, knowing that Lorri Ann Barnhart said, that's the wrong Lorri Ann, and then never said anything to Saltz to go to the court and say, can we please file a correction? That's the wrong person. What the fuck? Okay. Apparently done nothing to inform plaintiffs' counsel to correct the error, which is expressly against my wishes. I therefore reached out to plaintiffs' counsel by telephone. Lorri Ann called Salty for the first time on January 12th, 2021 to get... Wait, today's the 13th. Yesterday? This shit went down since yesterday? Y'all. Salty must not have slept. I therefore reached out to plaintiffs' counsel by telephone for the first time on January 12th, 2021 to give them the foregoing information for the purposes of setting the record straight. And to inform them for the first time about the existence of the facts contained in this declaration. Holy shit. Y'all, the election has been moving, stuff has been happening, but this case, I don't know if Salty ever sleeps. Salty might in fact be goat. I think so. Yeah. I'm gonna put this down for a second. I'm gonna try to answer some questions. And then if we need to pull up and compare and contrast, that was literally, you guys, I was on with the moderators when I got the alerts and shit went down. And I was like, law nerds, mount the fuck up. Once I saw it was a declaration from Lorri Ann and saw that tweet, I was like, we are going to fucking ride. So I'm sorry if I missed comments. I was trying to get through this. If I missed people in the chat, I'm sorry. I'm sure some of you tagged your favorite drama channels. Drama channels, I love you. Hello. I know the chat is going fast, but you guys, I'm going to try to answer some questions. What is happening? Did KJ find her lawyer equivalent? Like, is that what happened? Okay, I'm going to go across the top and see what we got for the super chats that I missed. Lori Smith, thank you for the super chat. She said, Lord have mercy. Michael said, don't forget to smash that like button. You guys, there were 7,000 law nerds in here. Let me know where we're at with the thumbs up for the algorithm and stuff. Thank you for the super stickers, everybody. I can't see all of them because they did scroll while I was talking. Ellie B said, I'm sorry, but did she just say mass flag? Yeah. Mass flagging of Sherelle's World and Little Red were specifically called out in that. Judy Stump, hello, Judy said, could Michael Brown be facing bar charges, sanctions, whatever they are called, LOL, over these allegations and the declarations? I try to do things thoughtfully. I did this as a reacts. I have to parse, but there are some things in there that are going to be very, very fucking problematic. Very problematic. Elizabeth said the hits just keep on going or coming. Yes, they do. Can Brown get in trouble? You guys, there are things in here. Once again, this is a declaration. We have seen filed declarations from KJ that are not true. They said that the court has access to the emails. They've quoted things that purport to be emails. If what is said in this declaration is said in those emails, this is going to be a big problem. But again, Lorianne has no reason to sign her name to a thing and have it not be the truth. Luca Lilly said, hey, I see there's a train wreck in process. Scott Pittman says, question, does this give grounds for Salts to take any bar action against Brown? I don't know if he will choose to do that or not, but it sounds like they were going after Salts. So all the gloves are fucking off at this point. It is just like, boom. You know when they drop the gloves in hockey? That's what just happened. Living Sweetly said, while I don't endorse the shit things Lorri Ann has done, I do give her a standing ovation for having the balls to come forward. I mean, yeah, respect. T Spicy said, why wouldn't they just fix the Lorri Ann stuff? Why wouldn't they not correct it? What am I missing here? I don't know why they wouldn't just go to Salts and be like, you got this shit wrong in the declarations, fix it. Because now there's this woman out here potentially drawn into this thing that's being talked about all over social media. Who's the wrong person? I don't know. There are other super chats that I've seen swoop by. I'm sorry. Ella said, watching the live on my TV, hopped on it on my phone just to have access to the chat to say, what? Thank you. Sarcastic Kale Lover said, I found the time/video Lorri Ann mentioned where KJ said she's my best friend. The 100K celebration video, 3457, didn't take long. There you go. Thank you so much for reading this for the first time with us. Love your reactions. I don't do a lot of live reacts. But when I saw whose declaration this was, I was like, y'all. And I looked at them. I was like, y'all, we're just going to read it. Michelle Hawley said, first time I've seen you that shocked. Same. This does not happen. This doesn't happen. Ian Lancaster, the devil works hard, Salty works harder, goat. And these are later, so I'm going to go in. Dottie said, thank you so much for the tea. Thank you, Lorri Ann, for doing the right thing. I mean, what do you guys think? It just looks crazy. Matarin says, dang it, I was in my employment law class going to have to rewatch so I don't miss the juicy tea. It sounds like we have like lawyer shenanigans level juicy tea. I'm going to try to catch up to the questions. With regard to speculating on bar complaints, I have not sat down to think through. I am not throwing those kind of speculations out there. There are very, very big allegations in here. If they said that there's emails, if there are emails with some of these statements in them, they are contrary to what should be done. You can't represent someone who has a conflict to your client, and you can't manipulate evidence. I mean, there are rules to this game. Some people play the game better than others, but there are rules to the game of litigation. And there was a discovery stipulation saying there will be a request for Lorri Ann's Twitter. It seemed to me that that was because Lorri Ann had deleted her Twitter and they knew that there were DMs and Lorri Ann's a connection to Washington, which is directly fucking relevant to the motion with regards to the case being in Washington. Okay, questions. We're gonna talk about questions. I think Arrow Better Call Salts is exactly what Lorri Ann thought to herself yesterday. She went, no, we're going to call Salts. But here's the thing. It seems like from this filing and from what Lorri Ann said, that it was brought to Salts' attention that it was the wrong woman. And he filed the precipice saying, hey, also, Lorri Ann is sharing that it was the wrong information. I just, you guys, I don't know what's going to happen now. I mean, I think the court could pull them in for a hearing. This declaration, you guys, this is all of the tea. All of the tea. I'm not dead yet, but I'm grateful. If you don't screw over your friends won't screw. Yeah. With Miss KJ. That, I mean, you don't, there was no reason for KJ in her declaration to back the bus up over Lorri Ann. She could have just said, we're friendly, but we're not super close. But also, so what? It's one person in Washington. Because now this is not just one person in Washington. This is somebody that you have doing your bidding according to what Lorri Ann said. That's more than just, oh yeah, I have a channel member who's also a friend that lives in Washington. I look, Saltsy is playing the long game. That's not what's being played on the other side from what I've seen here. Because so the argument of, yes, she's my friend, so what? We already know in the court record, KJ already said in the same declaration, this is what's insane to me. In the same declaration that KJ said, well, I only have 0.07% of subscribers in Washington. KJ is already contradicting her previous declaration. Okay, well, it's already been contradicted. So what if Lorri Ann is your friend? Just say, and she's my friend. I didn't think it was a big deal. It's just one person, like it's insignificant. But instead it was like, we're not friends. And Lorri Ann's like, oh, clearly not. Clearly the fuck not. Jamila, yes, girl. This is y'all with all the y'all. Look, we needed something to talk about other than Trump. We have it. Thank you, Lorri Ann and Saltsy. Everyone needed to talk about something else. This is going to be my face buzz gal all night. This is going to be me. I am this emoji all night when I'm intermixed with this emoji. This is it. I don't know what to say. You guys don't often see me go, I don't know what to say. I have never seen this shit go down in the practice of law. Like there have been moments, I'm going to try to catch up with some of the super chats that I missed. There have been moments in court where, I will tell you a quick court story in a second, but I've never seen anything like this. Okay, let me see if I can get to some of these because they're still across the top. I just can't grab them on the screen. Pam Marshall, motion to buy Salts, either a giant case of bourbon or a giant case of espresso or both. He might need them. Amanda, thank you for the super chat. Emily, Tati doesn't want the money. There is none. TOS violations. Is Lorri Ann's statement enough? I mean, the mass flagging statements are a lot. We know that Saltz is working on a case with the head of litigation for YouTube. So, I mean, I know YouTube's paying attention, but now we have a sworn declaration of mass flagging. Feminist Heathen said, this declaration is the best early birthday gift. I took a law and ethics class in undergrad and just emailed this case to my professor because she loves legal tea. Also, 42 is the new 30. I mean, the legal tea in this declaration is some shit. The shit's like out of the horse. It hit the fan. It was one of those big ass fans, the industrial size ones. It's everywhere. JM, did she even need to do the declaration that started this whole thing? I don't know. She KJ, she could have been more precise with the original declaration for sure. I said that when I did that original video that she could have been more precise, but it's dangerous to put out statements like, I don't have any viewers in Washington. I don't have any subs in Washington. Dude, it's in your backend analytics. Like most places I have at least one viewer or one sub. And then you say, yeah, I have a few. That's not enough for jurisdiction. The argument with jurisdiction a lot of the times is, yes, I have some. It's not enough. So what? There are some. Big deal. Serena Deer said, never, ever betray the one who knows all your dark secrets. KJ forgot that, but Lorri Ann never did. I mean, this betrayal all just happened quick because KJ's declaration was filed. Let me pull it back up. Yeah, KJ's declaration was filed on the 6th. That's right. So much has happened. So no, wait, was that on the 6th? Let me make sure I'm talking about the right one. So much. We've lived like 17 years this week and I'm exhausted. So we've like from Tuesday to now, wait, is today Wednesday? Thursday? Today's Wednesday. What the fuck is even this week? So much has happened, but the defendant's reply in support of the motion to dismiss was filed January 6th. Today's the 13th. Like, this has all happened at an astronomical pace, and it's crazy to me. There is so much pre-litigation here. I just can't. Can you imagine the phone calls that are happening behind the scenes with Mr. Brown and KJ? I imagine it's it's 9:00 Central Time. I imagine that there are phone calls, that there are big phone calls. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. So Katie said, this is the first time I've been upset I'm blocked by KJ on Twitter. I'm going to be sad to miss the Twitter meltdown. Who knows what's going to happen. Judy said it went from I have subscribers in Washington to I have a bulldog in Washington to I have a bulldog in Washington. Mass flagging channels. Golden Unicorn. Yes, this is slow mode. When there's this many people in the chat, sometimes it's waterfall like. I'm sorry. Adrian says, question, can you find out who the research attorney is for the case and interviewed them when the case is over? I will try. We need to know what they felt when reading these documents. I want to know so bad. Yes, I can try. They might not be comfortable doing that, but yes, I can try because we're never done with this case on this channel at this point. I'm so like emotionally invested in how quickly all this litigation has unfurled that I want to know what everybody else is thinking too. Like we all get to talk about it, but like at Salty's firm, I can imagine like going to your coworker. You're not going to believe who just called me. Like, this is what's happening. What are we doing? Wow. Question, can legal filings like these influence YouTube to suspend or limit a channel? YouTube often says they wait until there are legal resolutions, or does it have to go all the way to court? YouTube gets to determine that. So YouTube gets to determine that. And sometimes they do. So question, could the people named in the lawsuit that Lorri Ann alleges she was directed to mass flag use this as evidence if they wanted to pursue civil action? It depends on what happened as a result of the mass flagging, if there was loss of work, if there was interference in business relationships, things like that. So it depends. But what it can be used for is a basis to then receive another declaration or reach out to someone and be like, hey, what's going on. But it really depends circumstantially. So it depends. Um, are defamation suits always this dramatic? Michael, no. No, they're not always this dramatic because normally you get somebody filing a thing and then there's another filing of a thing. But the defamation cases we have right now, like the Johnny Depp case, for sure got this dramatic. It for sure did, because at the bottom of a defamation case is people saying nasty shit about each other. That's the bottom of a declaration of a defamation suit. This declaration is stuck in my brain. You can hear it. But at the heart of a defamation suit is somebody said some mean shit, well, defamatory shit about somebody else. Normally, it doesn't pop off quite like this, where you've now got declarations with the lawyers going after each other. You've got people coming for one of the lawyers on Twitter. You've got Twitter tantrums and videos and live streams. I can't even imagine how many hours have been billed in this case. Oh, so I was going to tell a story about a court moment. I'm going to try to pick up some of the super chats if I can and see what's in there. But I think this declaration is very, very damaging. I think this is very, very damaging. I don't know how this isn't damaging, not just damaging to the case, but like reputationally damaging. Because now you have an ex-mod with a declaration, and you have a ride or die with a declaration that you've been mass flagging. So not only is like there the legal stuff with regard to this person in Washington is doing stuff on behalf of your channel and striking out and lashing out at competitors, but also you now have the I don't know why I became Phil DeFranco at the moment. I'm sorry. I don't know. It just happened. But you also have the reputational damage within the community of she was getting hate because of the Shane Dawson thing, or at least I'm guessing it's the Shane Dawson thing because Sanders Kennedy is looped in there and it sounds about the right time. And then you had her ride or dies defending her there in Washington. It goes to the jurisdiction, but it also goes to this community and the commentary community or the tea community or the drama community. And then you have these allegations that there is mass flagging. It's wild. So Aaron, this is a great question. It's explained in a number of videos. They're still fighting over jurisdiction. Like we're in the procedural beginning of this case. We're not even into it. We're in the procedural beginning. Yep. Kate, fuckery. Yes, Allie, we have had 7,000 law nerds up in this chat. Again, law nerds, if you're here for the first time, because we have a bunch of people in here and we're chatting about shit that's not the election, not the impeachment, and not politics, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Holy shit. Is Salty loving or hating this? This is kind of like a once in a career type of thing where you're just like, this never happens. Like you very rarely get that TV lawyer moment. Even in criminal prosecution, you get that moment occasionally when people flip, but it's not common. And so when you get that moment, you're like, oh, this is happening. And then you're the Michael Scott meme of, it's happening. I had a case, that I was working on. So when I was in law school, I worked for a number of different agencies in the summer. I worked one summer with the U.S. Attorney General's office in their tax fraud division because I'm deeply fucking nerdy, and it was fascinating. And you get to see how people spend their money and try to avoid the IRS. And like, it was next level fuckery. It was fascinating. I also worked for the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, where I eventually became a district attorney for over 10 years. And in the summer that I worked for the district attorney's office, I worked with crimes against peace officers, stalking and threat assessment, and arson. And after that, I stayed friends with the DA who was working in arson. And she was in trial in the courthouse I was assigned to down the road with a arson investigator who I adored from Long Beach. You probably don't watch my YouTube videos, but if you do, hi, Pat, you're amazing. Who's now retired, which is why I'm going to dime him out by name because he's great. But evidence, he was in trial with her. Officers showed up at the courthouse and were like, hey, they just got back the results on this that connects it to this in the arson case. And I was literally that DA being like, I know which court they're in. That judge likes me. And I was like running down the hall in my heels, like, and into the courtroom, like into his ear, like, and he's like, and she's like, Your Honor, we're going to need a minute. Once in my career, that moment of like running down the hallway with, no, there's new evidence that just came back. This Uno reverse is, it's wild. Kristen, without this declaration from the real Lorri Ann, the KJ declaration about lack of relationship with DOT Lorianne isn't a lie, so that's extra deceitful. Well, yes, but also, I don't know. Let me pull up KJ's declaration. I don't know if KJ knew that the person was wrong. Like, I don't know if we knew that. Okay, let me control F myself real quick and find let me find this declaration real fast and see what it says. Because, okay, let's just pull it up and see. And then, oh my God, it's already 9:00. Okay. Well, y'all that are regulars know that we stream for quite a long time. And oh my God, there's 7,000 people in here. I just can't wait to watch I can't wait to see how everybody else reacts to this too. Cause I see in the chat how you're reacting and I'm like, oh my God, me too. Oh my God, me too. Prior to this lawsuit being filed, I had been in contact over social media with Lorri Ann Barnhart on a few occasions. So I think in this, KJ's connecting the Lorri Ann in the declaration to the Lorri Ann she communicated with on social media. I did not know Miss Barnhart was a resident of Washington, and Miss Barnhart saying that's not true because of Facebook. I am unaware of the state of residency of most of my subscribers and viewers because that information. Okay, fine. When I referred to Miss Barnhart as my best friend, it was not meant literally. It was meant as hyperbole. I have had very limited interactions with Miss Barnhart. Do not know her well. Do not consider her to be a friend at all. That's the rough part. Let alone my best friend. After plaintiffs, oh, here we go, Kim Fulmer. After plaintiffs filed a declaration from Kim Fulmer exposing irrelevant personal details about Lorri Ann Barnhart, Ms. Barnhart sent me several messages during a live stream I held on December 29th, 2020, because she was not a subscriber to my channel at that time. Because Lorri Ann said she was a member. Oh, wait, maybe she wasn't a subscriber, but irrelevant if she's a subscriber. She had been a paying member. Because she was not a subscriber to my channel, she paid a small amount of money to send those messages, a total of approximately $25, I believe. And then she moves on. So it really might be that KJ did not know, and that until Lorri Ann reached out. Did Lorri Ann reach out before this was filed? Oh, yeah. See, my brain's moving too fast. Lorri Ann reached out before this declaration was filed to the attorneys, because she reached out December 24th and told the attorneys, by the way, wrong Lorri Ann. And they didn't say anything about it in their motion. They didn't say, oh, and by the way, we've talked to Lorri Ann and that's not the right person. Oh my God. Okay. You guys. I don't know. All of this is yikes. Let me try to catch up with the chat. I'm sorry if I miss anything. Yikes. They knew, you guys. They knew before they filed this, because she reached out. See, this is why I normally take time in between to like put all the connections together. And that's why this is just a hot take, because we're reading it for the first time. But this, when I parse things, I take the time to read over the other one, read over this one, and sit with them in context together. We're reading this together for the first time, and I'm making the connections going, Oh, but then this. Oh, but then this. Oh, but then this. They knew and they didn't correct it. They knew they didn't correct it, and it wasn't even mentioned in this declaration. And she had already reached out, and they were trying to get Lorianne. Okay, lawyer strategic tactically, if you're trying to get someone to sign a declaration and a state bar complaint, and this declaration says you're trying to get them to say the other lawyer threatened you, why would you have your client or allow your client or not advise your client to put in a declaration that she's not my friend at all? Wouldn't you just say, wouldn't the argument be, yes, we were friends, but so what? She's one person in Washington. Like we had a friendly, she was a viewer and a member, and we were collegial, but that's it. Why wouldn't that be the argument? Because in that argument, Lorri Ann's like, hey, Lorri Ann said in her declaration, I just want you to correct the information. So if they had just corrected the information, Lorri Ann wouldn't have had any cause to call Saltsy. So what I'm seeing is that their choices directly led to this result. Because again, if KJ hadn't gone live on the 29th, then the screenshots of those super chats wouldn't have been in it. And then the fact that Lorri Ann was a Washington resident wouldn't have been relevant because she wouldn't have been paying to super chat. And so this wouldn't have all come up in the first place. Like if KJ hadn't gone live December 29th, we wouldn't be here. This wouldn't have all come up because there wouldn't have been that connection to Lorri Ann being a channel member and paying, because Saltsy didn't even dive into that until this, because in the declarations, in the other precipice, it said that they then, after they saw those screenshots of the super chats, then reviewed Lorri Ann's other connections to the channel. None of that even went down until December 29th when she did that live. And this is why lawyers say shit like, do not talk about the case. Do not talk about the things. Shopping Milady says, Lori just wanted to correct the situation. When she attempted to find a solution, Brown offers to dig himself and client a bigger pile of shit. He should have looked in a crystal ball. The future isn't looking bright. It really does seem from this, tell me what you guys think, but it really does seem from this that Lorri Ann's biggest frustration was that she was trying to correct the record that wasn't actually where she worked or her, out of concern for whoever the other person with the exact same name is, which seems like a very strange coincidence. Like, what are the fucking chances that there are two Lorri Ann Barnharts in the same state that both work for government-related agencies? It seems wild. But if she reached out just saying, please correct this, wouldn't they have reached out to Saltsy and said, by the way, the employment information you put in is the wrong person. We have the right person. We're representing them. They're willing to make a statement that that's not them and give you their information. Please correct the record. Like, that's how that goes down. And then you correct the record. And then we all go, oh, it looks like the Kim Fulmer declaration, where she did research and found Lorri Ann Barnhart that works for Department of Transportation, was not the right one. Weird coincidence, but not the right person. And then you correct it and you move forward. I just can't even, you guys. I can't even. There were so many other choices that could have been made that doesn't lead here. Here's bad. There's no, this shit's way the fuck out the horse. Way out of the horse. Guys, law nerds. I'm going to have to do another compare and contrast video. Like, I was going to sit down and parse the law on this video, but now we just need to parse the tea. Like, forget all the different cases that were added new in defendant's reply to the plaintiff's opposition to the defendant's motion to dismiss. We need to parse all of this stuff because now we have emails or statements from emails the judge might get the emails. If I'm the research attorney, I'm like, oh, fuck it. I want the emails now at this point too. I want to see everything. Like, if I'm the research attorney, I'm so into the tea at this point. I'm like, nope, tell me. The judge, on the other hand, might call an emergency hearing, call the lawyers in and be like, seriously, what's happening in this case? Why are you all still filing things? Because now I imagine there's going to have to be another response from KJ's attorney. I don't know what mechanism they would use for that, because it wouldn't be a precipice. Would it be a motion to strike? I don't know what mechanism they would use to respond to this. They can't reply it as I'm literally talking the process out loud. Let me see what else you guys said. Yeah, 2020 has passed the baton to 2021. We are living in an alternate universe where there is fuckery afoot. It's not even tsunami. We're Sumageddon. I don't know. It seems, though, my gut reaction to this is it seems that Lorri Ann reached out to the attorneys saying, I don't care who looks at my Twitter, based on her declaration. I don't care who looks at my Twitter. Please make sure they know that's not the right person. And that tracks for me with, let's pull this up again. What I'm pulling up is the declaration of Saltz in opposition to the motion to dismiss. Is this the one that has the DM? Yes. There are so many filings. This says, I suggest you stop doxing me and accusing me of doing things I haven't done. All of the trolls that surround you are the harassers. You call yourself a professional, yet you allow your troll army to dox me. This is where Salty said in his statement, dox means publicly identify or publish information about someone, especially as a form of punishment or revenge. So I can see why there was an assumption here that if Lorri Ann is DMing the lawyer saying, don't dox me, that the lawyer would think, oh, well, if it's not you, then I'm not. Why would you say dox? Because dox generally refers to your own self. So what's Lorri Ann said in this declaration filed was that it seemed to her that Saltz didn't know that it was the wrong Lorri Ann, but she told the other counsel on December 24th. I would very much like to know why that information was not shared immediately with the court. Just to correct the declaration. And she said in this too, I've supported Katie for months because I was harassed and stalked. There's so much here. We're going to have to parse it in another video too, but thank you guys for letting me live react. I'm going to sweep through the chat real quick and try to answer a few more things. And you guys, I am shook. I was not expecting that we'd come up here. Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday, right? I was not expecting to come up here with the piping hot fucking tea that would burn your mouth. We went live at 11. We had some podcast episodes and now this fuckery went down. It is just crazy. It's wild to me. I've never seen anything like this. I don't. The things that are alleged in this declaration with regard to the other attorney are, I'm going to have to sit down and parse in my brain because they are shocking. Like telling her, it would be great if you could say this. They are trying to play the wrong game in this case from what I've seen. I can't. I keep getting tagged in things showing that KJ says that nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes. Nothing has been more accurate. Because who would have ever thought that this next level fuckery was going on behind the scenes? She said in her declaration she was fine turning over her Twitter that was going to be subpoenaed. Ooh. Question, can you give us a flowchart of filings with dates and brief details? I might have to. Creepshow, glad you're still here, lady. Supocalypse is exactly what it is. I don't know. It's just it's just, I imagine that that's the case. I don't know what the next step here is. I, I don't know procedurally what will come next. I wonder if a judge will call an emergency hearing. We now have many more big issues. We have direct accusations of misleading and false statements in multiple declarations. Do we have an attempt to hide evidence or to delay? Maybe. Is there going to be another perspective on all of this? For sure. But I also, there's this element of like, oh, I'm not your friend. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. In the DA's office, we used to say, don't crap on the people that know where the bodies are buried. Essentially, you don't, you treat well the people who know the things. Lorri Ann was a person who knew the things and had the integrity to say, this doesn't sit right with me. Because other people might have just said, yeah, fuck it, ride or die. Let's go along with it. There is integrity in that, to say, this doesn't sit right with me, and then to go call the other side, knowing that we're all going to talk about it. Because in context, everything that comes up in this suit is going to get talked about on the YouTubes. And I think that is, I think that that's something that has to be discussed. I mean, it's hard to stand up in something like this, and it's hard to insert yourself into something like this. Not to say that Lorri Ann didn't insert herself at the beginning when she was tweeting at Saltsy in a protective way of KJ, for sure, because she was like, a real lawyer's not going to be on Twitter. But to then stand up and say, I shouldn't have behaved that way. I shouldn't have done that. I did do that, but also this. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm floored by the behavior of Mr. Brown. Floored by that behavior. Floored by that behavior. I don't have any more words. I can't. Stacey, girl, I'm with you. I can't believe this is happening. Naima said, does this declaration provide some added context to why Saltsy took some pot shots at KJ's attorney? I know y'all brought it up before. No, I think that, and you guys heard us talk about the, like, this was offered in bad faith. I think this came after that, but it might be why Mr. Brown was going after Saltsy, because Saltsy did take, like, there were shots fired. My necklace is making me crazy. There were definitely shots fired from Saltsy to Mr. Brown in Saltsy's thing, but also Mr. Brown filed, and here, I didn't realize how complex my thoughts on this question were, Naima. Give me a second. Mr. Brown filed the motion to dismiss that seemed to be nothing more than taking shots at Saltsy's clients, because it was a fruit salad of Tati sucks. Like, that's exactly what the motion to dismiss was. This motion to dismiss was Tati sucks. Tati did this to herself. James Charles by sister, James Charles, murderous conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. Tati's the worst. Like, pages and pages of shots taken at Tati Westbrook again. Because again, stuff you say in this document is generally covered by litigation privilege. So it's not like you can redefame somebody in litigation documents. They are supposed to have evidentiary proof, but a lot of this is based on videos that are all listed. Then KJ took shots at Saltsy and me and many others on Twitter, accusing Saltsy of misconduct, accusing him of saying that there would be bar complaints, intimating that he would be sued. So their side went in. His side went back. And now there's just, like, boom goes the dynamite. Boom goes the dynamite. None of us saw this fucking coming. So every time KJ's like, she has no idea what's coming. Yeah, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't know what's coming, because I never saw this shit fucking coming. Not in a million years. Not in a million years. Not in a million years. Right. And treat him and I suddenly stand Lorianne. I mean, maybe Salty. From everything we've seen in these filing, the mods are exhausted. I'm hear you. We're going for sure because now we're at 2 hours, and the mods were on a call for like an hour before this. Yes, Diva, thank you for everything I've seen from Salty's filings. Salty is very clever and absolutely sees the game forward. Not all lawyers can see the field. And the statements in KJ's declaration, in my opinion, throwing Lorianne under the bus and backing up against her were short-sighted. I said it in the other video, like, oof, like we're not friends at all. When I went through that document, I said it then. Because it was, again, the argument could have been made like, yeah, and so, yes, this is a person I know. This is how I know them. It's still not enough for jurisdiction. So, you guys, this is going to be tough, and there are going to be big consequences of what is alleged here. Everybody say big thank yous to the mods. Supernova. Oh, Jake's Baby Cakes. I like Supernova. I like Supernova. I don't know what the court's going to do with this, you guys. These are big problems. These are very, very big problems. Cullen C, you're welcome. It was we couldn't just not. KJ definitely didn't see this coming either. I don't think I'm sure this is a surprise to them. This was a surprise to me. Thank you for the almost 7,000 law nerds that are still here. Again, if you thumbs up the video, it helps it get found in the algorithm. If you subscribe to the channel, it helps me dye my hair purple at 100K subscribers, because we're gonna be up here on the YouTubes breaking down facts, not fuckery, when shit happens, and your support makes that happen, and I appreciate you so much. Just for a few moments, very few. If you do not follow me on the places, I am at the Emily D. Baker everywhere. So if you would like to follow me on the places, I do sassy things on Twitter, behind the scenes things on Instagram, and breaking down the law nerdy things here on the YouTubes. If you're in North America, you can be part of the text crew. You don't have to rely on the YouTube bell to notify you. I will notify you, and occasionally send out clips and birthday greetings and things like that. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. Thank you for the mods for like, yeah, we ride this evening. Let's do it. I appreciate it so much. I will give you more of my thoughts on Friday Night Live. And if I go live tomorrow, it will be on Instagram. Tomorrow, I have a lot of like other worky things to do on Thursday. So if I pop onto social, it'll be on Instagram and Twitter tomorrow. And then we are here every Friday for Friday Night Live at 7 p.m. And we have a new segment for Friday Night Live this week. So don't forget to tune in. I was really ready to move on from this case and talk about other things, but we will have to get a breakdown, like my deeper thoughts on this, because this was just the first takes. Thank you guys for being here. I'm blown away by your support. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I will see you in the next one. Good night, everybody. Connect with me everywhere. I'm at the Emily D. Baker. The podcast is The Emily Show Podcast. So if you're ready to ride at dawn, head over to lawnerdshop.com, your place for all your law nerd needs. Stickers, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and more coming soon. If you guys want to join the text, just text emily.com. If you want to join the channel, lawnerdsunite.com. Happy to have you. Support what we do here on the YouTube